at the end of it all, talagang wala palang naiwan sa atin. Malungkot to.
Ito yung pinakamasakit. Yung trabaho ka ng trabaho, parati kang pagod, pero you have no choice but to go to work kasi may mga babayarin.
Okay, the cycle repeats itself over and over until we do something. Ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ang mga money mistakes that can make or break you. So, disclaimer lang po, hindi kami financial coach.
Wala din po kami mga accounting degree or anything to do with finances.
So, we just want to share our lessons na mga natutunan namin for more than a decade na nagtatrabaho na kami abroad. The most important thing is to recognize this mistake. Kasi once ma-recognize natin na ginagawa na pala natin to, we can actually start changing our behavior para ma-break natin yung cycle. 'Di ba? Yun yung pinaka-goal ng video na to. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay. So money mistake number 1.
Paying yourself last. So meron tayong dalawang klase ng tao pag sumasahod. Lalo na ngayon, malapit na yung sahuran.
Malapit na ang sahod.
May
So pagdating nung sahod, binabawasan nila nung mga expenses nila. Tapos yung natitira, yun na yung savings nila, which is optional kung meron pang natira. Meron namang iba na pagdating ng sahod,
savings kagad.
Savings muna yung binabawas nila, which is an automatic transfer to their savings account. And yung natira, yun na yung binabudget nila for expenses.
Tama.
'Di ba? So, yung savings natin at least 10%. Hindi bababa ng 10%. It can be more, pero hindi talaga pwedeng bumaba sa 10%. Bakit ba tayo kailangan mag-save?
Kailangan talaga natin mag-save kasi hindi natin alam yung mangyayari in the future. Hindi naman parating okay. Meron din mga tinatawag na mga rainy days sa buhay natin. So at least if we have saving, we are confident enough na maitatawid natin yun.
Oo, kasi meron nagtanong sa akin before na sinabi niya na if you stop working now, how long will you survive? 'Di ba? Parang hello, kung wala kang savings, then you cannot stop working.
Pag may savings ka kasi you feel secured at some point na dumating man yung kahit ano, mawalan ka man ng trabaho, at least you can still survive for a couple of months while looking for a new job.
Minsan wala tayong motivation or wala tayong inspiration to save kasi wala tayong mga goals or wala tayong target. Yung pinaka-basic dito is at least we can save 3 to 6 months for an emergency fund. Pwede natin to ma-compute like yung monthly sahod mo multiplied by 6 months and that is your target savings. Yun yung first project mo na dapat mong gawin. After ma-secure mo yung emergency fund, yung succeeding savings mo, you can start putting it into investments. If you know your target, meron kang inspiration on how much you will save first. And after ma-reach mo yung target na yon, yung succeeding na savings mo, you can start investing na. Kasi hindi naman maganda na lahat ng savings mo nandun lang sa bank.
At nakaupo lang yung pera mo doon.
Nakaupo lang yung pera. So, you can actually start investing para mas lumaki and mag-multiply pa yung mga nasisave mo. It's not how much you earn, but how much you keep. So, at least minimum 10% itatago natin yan. So, yun talaga yung money mistake number 1 because we forget to pay ourselves first.
Tama.
Parang nagiging option na lang natin na hindi tayo magsisave kasi may trabaho pa naman ako.
Money mistake number 2 is not knowing yung difference between assets and liabilities. Again, hindi po kayo mga accountancy, hindi din po kayo mga financial advisor, pero ito yung mga things na nabasa namin, narinig namin, so which is good to share lang. So ano ba yung difference ng asset and liabilities? So of course, to make it simple, yung liabilities is something that takes money out of your pocket. Diba?
Wow.
And then yung asset naman is yun yung mga bagay na pag kinuha mo, sila yung magdadagdag ng pera, they will give money or they will put money to your pocket.
Kung alam mo yung difference ng assets and liabilities, mas careful ka sa mga purchases.
Tama.
So sometimes it depends sa intentions mo. Kasi pwede ka naman mag-purchase ng something with the intention na in 5 years, pag mag-appreciate na yung value, pwede mo siyang ibenta. So pwede na siyang maging asset.
Or pwede ka ding bumili ng ng something na will add money to your pocket. Let's say for example, gusto mong bumili ng sasakyan. That is a liability talaga yung sasakyan kasi magbabayad ka monthly, magbabayad ka ng ganito.
True.
Pero kung gagamitin mo siya into something else na mag-a-add ng money, then why not? So nagiging asset siya. Diba? Let's say for example, bumili ka ng sasakyan, gawin mong Uber.
Yun, pwede mo siyang gawing Uber.
Gawin mo siyang or in our case, kung gusto nating agency, which is mas maganda yung bayad sa agency per hour, so you can use your car to go to a different hospital para mag-agency shift. So yun. Nagiging asset siya.
Kahit liability, nagiging asset, which is actually ang galing mong mag-explain. Pwede na siyang financial advisor.
Guys, kung nagano kayo,
wag
please,
kami.
Wag kami ha.
Palagi nating iniisip na deserve ko to. Deserve ko yan.
Yan, yung palaging kaka-deserve ng deserve na uubos yung
natin. Sa kaka-deserve natin, especially now, dahil sa social media, di ba, parang maraming influence na bumili ka ng ganito, bumili ka ng ganyan.
Kumain ka doon, pumunta ka doon.
Mag-travel ka dito, mag-travel ka doon. So, sa kaka-deserve mo ng mga bagay dahil you've been working so hard, sometimes we just keep on spending on liabilities.
Pero hindi namin sinasabi na hindi mo deserve bumili ng mga something na nagpapasaya sa'yo. At some point, pwede kang bumili pero just make sure na pasok sa budget mo.
Because we're still fit and we're able to work, then let's really try our best to buy and invest on real assets.
Tama.
Yung mga things na kahit natutulog ka, it can still put money into your pocket. So number 3 is actually getting comfortable with bad debt. So, meron tayong sinasabing good debt and bad debt. Yung good debt is debt that you use to purchase assets.
Tama.
While yung bad debt naman, these are debt that you use to purchase liabilities. So that's the main difference sa kanila. So
anong example nito?
Ano yung pinaka-example nito?
Example nito is yung mga credit card.
Ayun.
Credit card is actually not your money. So make sure na pag mag-spend ka ng credit card mo, na meron kang pangbayad, especially on or before. Mas maganda before due date. Well, dito sa UK, kailangan yung credit card for your credit score. So they encourage na, kasi sa mga big purchases such as mag-mortgage ka, i-check talaga yung credit score mo. And one of the things para mag-increase yung credit score mo is you're a good payer sa credit card. So importante na gagamitin dito yung credit card. But just to make sure na may pangbayad ka. Diba?
True. And they even say that if you pay your credit card 3 days or 15 days before the due date, mas tataas pa yung credit score mo. Yung kilala kong accountant, sabi niya na we only need to use at least 30% from our total credit limit sa mga credit card. 30%, can you imagine that? Minsan nga, namamax pa. Di ba? Minsan namamax pa, hindi lang 30% yung nagagamit natin.
Ay, nako. 100%.
100%.
Okay lang naman siguro yung gamitin for emergency purposes. Umabot ka ng 100% for emergency purposes. But just to make sure na at the end of the day, before yung due date, is makakahanap ka ng pangbayad.
And the most important thing is, dapat actually may cash on hand tayo. Every time ginagamit natin yung card. Like for example, di ba monthly we have utilities, we have groceries. Pwede natin gamitin yung credit card
sa mga purchases
purchases na ganon. And yung budget na allocated mo sa mga utilities and groceries, diretso na sa credit card. So at the same time, tataas na din yung credit score.
So it will serve the purpose of increasing your credit score. Use it wisely.
Alam nyo ba na yung mga credit company, gusto nila na mismanage natin yung mga credit card natin kasi that's where they can earn from the interest. Pag hindi mo nababayaran siya ng full, dun sila kikita.
Money mistake number 4 is living paycheck to paycheck.
Yon.
Ito medyo frustrating pag ganito. Medyo hindi lang medyo frustrating talaga pag ganito. Kasi trabaho ka ng trabaho, syempre napapagod tayo, paulit-ulit yung ginagawa natin. And at the end of the day, parang yung sahod mo is parang dumampi lang sa palad mo. Alam mo, may sahod ka na padating pero alam mong wala na siya. And that is very frustrating.
Kasi yung cycle is magtatrabaho tayo, tapos sa sahod, tapos syempre maraming babayaran. And after nun, pag maubos, magtatrabaho na naman tayo.
And then you have no choice. Yun yung medyo frustrating na part. Pag wala kang choice, but you need to get up, you need to work kasi nga marami kang babayaran.
Pag hindi ka magtrabaho, paano mo mababayaran yung mga utilities and mga gastusin pag ganon. So it's really frustrating pag ganito.
So we need to break the cycle.
Break the cycle. If you recognize that this is the pattern, we need to really make an effort para ma-break yung cycle because we need to realize that life is short. It's actually meant to be enjoyed as much as we can. Pero paano tayo mag-i-enjoy kung kung kailangan natin magtrabaho araw-gabi? One thing that we can do para maiwasan ito is to really stick to a budget. Kailangan natin mag-allocate. Okay, so like for example, paano natin i-allocate? Sige.
So first and foremost, at least 10% as your savings. So that's non-negotiable, that's automatic. So pay yourself first.
True.
Yung pangalawang iba-budget natin is of course yung ating daily expenses, yung monthly expenses natin which is utilities, yung bayad sa bahay, and yung padala sa Pilipinas, yung pangtulong sa family, yung pang budget mo dito, bayad mo dito sa mga credit card mo, anything that will continue your life.
Yun sa 70%.
So, yun will be, kasi medyo malaki yun. So, let's say mga 70% yun. And then, you still have the 20% for your fun. Yun yung kailangan mo para at least hindi ka rin ma-burn out.
True, So, dapat i-save natin yung something for fun. Depende yan sa tao. Kasi yung iba, may narinig ako na sila, parang 20% savings, 50% for fundamentals, tapos 30% yung fun. So, meron din naman iba, pag matagal ka na din nag-work, tapos na-manage mo na yung mga expenses, 30% na yung sinisave nila at the same time investments, tapos 60% yung sa expenses,
sa daily expenses nila,
and 10% na lang yung fun, diba?
So depende yan sa pag-budget mo. So just make sure na it's divided into 3. Hindi naman to for everyone, pero ito yung parang basic na gagawin natin. So basically yung ginagawa nating allocation is 10-70-20.
Yun. 10-70-20. At least basic yun.
And just play around kung ano yung mas gusto mo. Kung mas gusto mo, mas malaki yung savings mo, it's up to you.
Tapos actually, meron kaming kilalang couple na dahil dalawa silang nurse na nagtatrabaho, both of them earn. So yung ginagawa nila, they live on one paycheck only.
Imagine magkano nasisave nila, no? Parang 50% nasisave nila.
So meaning 50% yung sinisave nila, tapos nagtitiis ganda sila. So that's actually a good thing. Siguro may plan talaga sila sa sa arrangement na yon.
You can do that if you have a plan in mind kung ano yung gagawin mo. If you have an assignment na we need to build this one, we need to save this kind of amount kasi may bibilin tayo or may gagawin tayong business or whatever. So, yun, depende yun sa motivation mo.
Single ka naman, ang ginagawa niya was yung sahod niya is completely iniipon niya, as in completely iniipon niya, and yung mga expenses niya, doon na lang siya nagbabank para sa mga expenses niya. Pero I'm not sure kung feasible ito. Pero why not? Pwede nating itry kung meron talaga tayong mga target at meron tayong mga goal.
Tama.
So we can actually do this. Ito lang yung mga options na pwede nating gawin. Okay, so number 5 money mistake. Okay, so number 5 money mistake is not seeking counsel from wise people.
Tama. Importante talaga to
this
because
is very important.
Hindi natin alam kung saan magsisimula. Kasi sometimes darating talaga sa buhay mo. Sabi ko nga kay My Heart, minsan kahit anong advice natin sa ibang tao, hindi sila maniniwala or hindi nila yan susundin unless sila mismo yung maka-experience. Sabi ko nga sa kanya na darating talaga sa buhay ng isang tao, yung isang situation na magpapabago sa buhay mo, magbabago sa thinking mo, magbabago sa mga decision making mo. Ganon din yung nangyari sa amin. We started mag-abroad and then along the way, parang na-realize namin ganito na lang ba yung buhay natin. So that was the time we started questioning. And maganda yun pag nag-question ka kasi nare-realize mo na merong something wrong, and then you try to seek answers.
True.
'Di ba? So yun mag-uumpisa.
Financial advisor na
So,
talaga
dun
si
ka-
Martin. Napatanong kami sa sarili namin. And that's why we actually started to research on financial literacy. So yun, parang we tried to educate ourselves,
yeah.
to manage our finances better. And mabuti na lang kasi we have some friends na nakakapagbigay ng mga advice. Tapos, we tried to read books, yung mga books na nakatulong talaga.
So, we are saying this kasi we experienced this. Hindi, pero pag kukuha ka ng financial advisor,
Huwag kami.
hindi kami yun.
Sa Filipino culture, usually, if you grew up in a Filipino household, like katulad namin, parang we are really trained na to go to school, tapos to get a degree, tapos get a good job, after that one, work. Tapos
then,
get loads of money, and pag after nun, magre-retire. Yun ang training sa atin, to be hardworking, magtrabaho talaga. Wala namang masama doon kasi it's good to be hardworking.
Kasi yung katawan natin napapagod din,
Oo.
tumatanda.
Yun.
So, ayaw natin dumating yung panahon na matanda na tayo tapos wala tayong naipon or wala tayong naipundar. Or yung pinaka masakit pa is yung uuwi tayo ng Pilipinas na walang-wala tayo. And these are the things na napaisip kami na why we share this kind of video kasi ayaw namin mangyari sa sarili namin, ayaw namin mangyari sa mga nandito na or kahit na sinong Pilipino.
Meron lang akong gustong i-share. Alam mo ba na when I was growing up, when I was I think 8 years old, I had a friend na half Chinese, half Filipino. So, para siyang yung mga Chinoy sa Pinas. And usually, pag weekend, pumupunta kami sa bahay nila because kailangan namin ng play date. Ganon. So, na-amaze ako because when I came to their house, yung laro namin was more of like parang business. Parang tinanong niya ako na, Sayla, ano yung signature mo? Sabi ko, anong signature? Sabi niya, kailangan natin ng signature kasi kailangan natin to para magpirma ng mga cheque.
Imagine mo at a very young age, no?
At a very young age, yun ang iniisip niya kasi siguro yun din yung nakikita niya sa household nila. And meron kami nung time na yung laro namin is like a restaurant. And can you imagine na hindi kami yung nag-order ng food but kami yung cashier, kami din yung nagagawa ng menu. Kami din yung nagagawa ng menu. And hello!
Dito yung kaibigan na. Dito din sila.
Nandito kami sa park.
Dito kasi kami sa park.
So, can you imagine? So, iba yung training sa Filipino household compared dun sa mga Chinese household. And at an early age, train sila on how to build a business. They are trained to let their money work for them. Yun ang napansin ko. Parang nag-iiba yung perspective mo once you become financially literate.
Tama.
So, it's really amazing. So, that's why we're actually sharing this information para at least maybe you want to start this journey, especially next year, 2025. Next year. So, or else, better yet, start now. So, ngayong month na to, pagdating ng sahod, simulan na natin. Ganon. And yung pinaka-importante na money mistake that can make or break you is
playing it safe.
Yun.
Yun talaga, takot tayong mag-jump into something dahil takot tayong mawala yung pera natin, takot tayong malugi. Diba?
Takot tayo mag-try because we want 100% assurance na magre-return of investment.
Which is tama naman. Kasi, which is
true.
tama. Because you need to protect your money. That's your hard-earned money. Hindi mo pwedeng ibigay lang kung kani-kanino, ibigay lang kung saan-saan, and then mawawala lang siya. Kasi pinaghirapan mo yun.
True.
May mga tinatawag tayo na calculated risk. May mga opportunities, madami mga opportunities na dumadating sa buhay natin, and then sometimes we don't take action kasi natatakot tayo. Pero we can do this calculated risk. Pag-aralan natin, we have to educate ourselves, di ba? How does this work? Paano ba tayo kikita? And then if you think na maganda naman siya, then you take action. Yun yung pinaka-importante.
when you are financially literate, you can make better decisions. And you can also ask your friends na mga accountant, yung mga, they will give you sound advice. You can also ask your mentors about these decisions. But the most important thing is to really take action. When you take action, you can start letting your money work for you.
Tama.
Kasi sabi nga nila, anong sabi nila, my heart?
Money is a tool,
Freedom is the goal.
Kasi sabi nga ni Lisa, si Lisa, di ba? Sabi
Si
nga ni
Lisa.
Lisa, money
Si Lisa.
is, ano yung tawag sa money?
So,
Ano sabi?
money is a terrible
Master.
master but an excellent servant. Yon, Lisa. Lisa collab. Dollar bills. Dollar bills. So again guys, thank you for watching. And again, kung gusto nyo ng financial advisor, wag kami. We're just sharing our personal experiences and yung mga lessons na natutunan namin.
So sa lahat ng mga subscribers namin, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching.
Oo, thank you for watching and please share, like, and comment dito sa video na to. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yun.
Pakita namin kung nasaan kami ngayon. Actually, nandito lang kami sa park.
It's getting big. Hindi naman to sinabi ni Lisa.
Sa kanta ni Lisa.
Sa kanta ni Lisa na money, 'di ba? Dollar bill, dollar bill.
Yung pinaka na nabibili or yung pinaka nabibigay ng
Freedom.
ng financial stability is time.
Yon. No, ang galing-galing naman nila.